So how's that for the start of a show? A lot of ambulances and whatnot. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bob Doyle's Timeline. It's been, wow, I don't even know how long, maybe almost a year. Like the last Bob Doyle's Timeline show I actually remember broadcasting was right before Christmas of 2012. Even though it's what I want to do more than any of the other shows. No, that's not true. There's so many other little shows, and now with Google Hangouts, there's just so many broadcast opportunities. In any case, ladies and gentlemen, it is Bob Doyle's Timeline, and I am broadcasting live from Santa Monica, California, in front of someone dressed like the Lone Ranger, singing. And he's got a sign in front of him that says donations. And actually I'm thinking no. I mean, it's nothing, personal. I'm just thinking, well, of all the things I could donate to tonight, that's probably not it. Now, if I was, playing the ukulele on the street, and God knows I may sound like that. Of course, I don't think I'd be using backing tracks like that. That's like karaoke tracks. I can't bring myself to do that. I got to have real, All right, so let me paint the picture for you. I'm on the Third Street Promenade of Santa Monica, and this is where things happen, and there's street performers all the time, as the one we're hearing. And as I continue to walk down, you'll hear other ones. In fact, I think you may already. Yes. I'm sure you must hear as I'm approaching. So there's all sorts of art for sale, and if you've never been, okay, you know what? I should actually paint the picture. In case you've never been on Third Street Promenade, it's a series of shops and restaurants and so on. It's a closed-off street. It's only foot traffic, and people, performers such as this woman here, will set up with their battery-generated amplification systems and play for tips. And I'm not sure what she's singing because I don't speak whatever language that is, but she's got a guitar, and it seems like she's not really even strumming it. I think she's just singing it. If you are familiar with the Santa Monica Third Street Promenade area, I am standing by Market Pavilion. You may or may not know that landmark. But I'm walking, I don't even know what direction, to be quite honest. I was literally sort of just dropped here because I'm supposed to meet somebody later, some people later. Like right now, I think I'm not even sure what time it is, but I'm not supposed to meet people until like 8:45. It'll probably be 9. So I've got like a couple of hours to walk around wandering by myself in Santa Monica. I don't know. So I thought, well, what am I going to do? So the answer to that question was, well, do a Bob Doyle's Timeline show, because this will be fascinating to all human beings. And that's why you're finding yourself fascinated. And the nice thing is that it just really looks like I'm talking on the phone. Not like I'm not holding the phone out in front of me like I'm trying to do a broadcast. I'm not staring at anything. It looks like I'm just having a very long conversation. All right, so I bet you can fill in the blanks on this one. That's right. This is for real. This is truly people doing the whole Hare Krishna thing and giving out whatever it is they do. This is nothing against that. Please understand. It's just there is a certain amount of cliche around that, and I was just observing it. So now I'm in front of the Coffee Bean and Tea Leaf, and apparently there are several Coffee Bean and Tea. Now you'll notice that as I continue walking, like we're losing the Hare Krishna people, and now we've got some sort of percussive thing happening. Oh, it's a beatboxer. Let's listen, shall we? I'm going to just stand here. He's also got a guitar and a saxophone, and so he's doing some stuff, but everything you're hearing now was his mouth, although he stopped just now. And there's lots of dogs around here too, so let's hear what he does, shall we? A little beatboxing is good for the soul. And the beautiful part is it still just looks like I'm talking on the phone, so I don't have to get engaged. You know how sometimes these street performers will say, hey, you standing there kind of looking at me, come be a part of my show. And, you know, you got to be in a special mood for that. Right now I'm not in that special mood. But let's listen to him, shall we? Just for a moment. So it makes you wonder when this kid was like 10 years old. I mean, he's clearly in his mid-20s. So when I grow up, I want to make noises with my mouth in the streets of Santa Monica for tips. Hey, I got to say, he's got some money in his open guitar case, and he sells CDs for $10. Too bad this isn't video, too, because he's got the whole, you know, body thing happening. It's always weird when you see like a transient, let's say, someone who's down on their luck, walking past an open guitar case full of money, and this one guy just walked right in front of this, and it's like you could just, is he gonna go for it and grab a sack full of dollars and run, or no? Too many people are around. You can kind of see him contemplating it. That's right. This is the Bob Doyle Timeline Judgment Edition, where I just look at people and figure out what they're thinking and what they're all about and judge them for the benefit of all of you. There is a piece of me that really wishes we could do some video because of the dogs and just the, you know, there's definitely things to see. Like right now, I'm passing past a topiary dinosaur. Again, if you're familiar with this area, you know exactly where I am. And hey, if you're in, because I know who wouldn't, there's got to be, I don't know, 24 people listening to this right now on their phones as they wander around Third Street Promenade. So if you want to, you know, find me, I'm telling you exactly my location because clearly you're right here. So now we're walking into another little arena of music, and I wonder, it's like, do they figure out, like, well, here's a space, you're just out of earshot of the next one? Because I've walked down here enough that I know that there are certain areas where people do their little street performing. How do you claim that? Do you sign up for it? Is it first come, first serve? Is it serve? Is it squatters' rights? What's the deal? How do you get the spots? Because the people I'm looking at now certainly aren't the people that I looked at before when I did this. But of course, it's a totally different time of day, too. So yeah, this place is crazy. So it's a Friday night, obviously. I say obviously because if you're listening live, you know what stinking day it is. Now passing a Starbucks coffee. So we had the coffee bean, and now passing a big dog. And here's somebody either setting up or putting away their street performance thing. Now in front of the I don't know how to pronounce this. Trastevere restaurant? I don't know. So much to do. So now I'm at the corner of Santa Monica Boulevard and Third Street Promenade. You know, it's interesting about being in California. As you may know, I'm a recent transplant. You know, when I was growing up and would watch game shows like The Price is Right and stuff like that, and they talk about, to get tickets to The Price is Right, right to sort of Wilshire Boulevard. And to me, that was like this fantastical place, you know. Wilshire Boulevard, that's where all the TV magic happens, right? And so now, of course, I've been up and down Wilshire several times, and it's like, actually, it's no less magic. It's still very cool. Like, I still have, like I saw, I'm pretty sure that just when I was having dinner a little while ago at this place called the King's Head Pub, that Allison Hannigan, the actress, was in there. I mean, unmistakable face. Pretty sure she walked right by me, and to me, that's still cool. What can I tell you? You know, it's not like, oh my God, what am I going to do? But it's just kind of interesting to see famous people. So since I've been out here, since I started the whole thing, it was a Judge Reinhold. I saw Andy McDowell at a Whole Foods. Can't remember the guy's name, but he was the guy who played. He was the guy who played Kramer in the pilot in the Seinfeld episode. So so if you saw Seinfeld, and they were selling the idea of doing a pilot or doing a show about nothing, and they cast everybody. The guy, I wish I could remember his name. Great character actor. He's been in a bazillion things, but I saw him at a Whole Foods too. So Whole Foods, that's where the stars hang. That and the King's Head Pub, apparently. So anyway, so it just makes so you wander around and you there's so many people wandering up and down, and you look and you say, I wonder how many people are like famous types. So now I'm in front of the Apple Store, which is where I actually started my afternoon here to get some. It wasn't actually my phone, but we were here to get some technical assistance with a phone and a computer, and actually didn't get much help because the problem was so complicated. But it brought us here, to Santa Monica, Third Street Promenade, which is always an interesting place to be. So now that I've done the Third Street Promenade piece of, actually I can't say that I've done it because there's see, now this guy's got a 12-string guitar. Let me get on the other side of him. I've been down here a few times, and I don't think I've ever seen a ukulele player. I'm now in front of a booth that sells those T-shirts that have light-up stuff. Again, I wish I could take a picture, but I'm busy broadcasting this highly listened to broadcast of Bob Doyle's Timeline. Somehow, there are no messages in the chat box. How is that possible? How could it be that I've been broadcasting for 12 minutes and 7 seconds and not one person has chatted? Okay, so now this looks pretty good because there's a violin player and this guy on the guitar. So let's take a listen here and see what we got. It's funny because there's a guy not just standing back and listening, but 3 feet away from the guy. So now the violin player I saw, he was by himself earlier. So now it's like he's joined forces with Mr. Guitar here again with their battery-powered amplification system. So it looks like the violin guy is analyzing. Well, what's he doing here? I'm looking at the chords. He's playing a C, he's playing a G, he's playing an A minor, he's playing an F, and he's playing anyway. So now, violin guy must be going, okay, well, that's the chord progression. What can I play? But so far, he's just sitting there staring. Maybe he doesn't know guitar chords and he doesn't know what he's looking at. But here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, you can't hear it because it's too far away, so I'm going to have to get closer. I'm going to have to get right up next to him. But he only played like a little riff, and he's not amplified, so you can't hear him. That's a pity. Now, I could sit right behind, but now you can't hear the guitar guy. Let's see what Violin Man says. This guy who's watching them is seriously 2.5 feet in front of Violin guy, and he's staring right at him. This would be a really weird place to do an open mic thing. I think if I ever did a uke thing down here, which would be fun, if I get myself a portable battery-powered amplification system, that would be a PBAS, is right? Portable, no, PBOAS, PBOAS, whatever. If I had a P-Boa, I think I'd have to bring another, I'd have to bring an extra uke, because I don't think it could be all about me just playing the uke. I think I'd have to get some audience participation. That seems to be what draws the crowds. Hey, come up here. That's not the voice I would use, by the way. Just in case you were thinking, well, that'll never work, Bob. Don't use that voice. Don't worry. I wasn't going to. So now what you're hearing is water being spewed forth from another topiary dinosaur, this a Stegosaurus. Again, it'd be great if I could share this with you, but alas, I cannot. Plus, I'm probably, I thought it was actually churning down my battery more than it is. I started this show at about 73, and now it's at 62. And since it's only 7:45, I got like an hour and then some probably before I actually meet the people I'm supposed to meet. Don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to go for an hour. In fact, I actually I turned around. I kind of reached, not the end, I would say, but it looks like if I kept walking, then I'm actually going into like a mall, like an interior mall, and that's not what I want. I want the outside, so I'm going to switch sides of the street and wander back up. You wouldn't believe how many people there are here. This is just, I guess this is the Friday night thing. California! And so now I'm in front of Urban Outfitters, probably the biggest one on the planet, which was just like the Apple store that I was just across from. Freaking huge. So now, as you can tell, maybe you can't tell, doesn't matter. You know what? Okay, so now I think it's about time I changed the subject. So what would the subject be? I'm wondering. Let's take your calls. 1-888-BOB-TALK. That's 1-888-BOB-TALK. Give us a call and share with us what I should talk about. No, don't do that. Please don't do that. That's like the lamest thing ever. But truly, given that I had no plan when I turned this on, still have no plan, I can't believe I've actually successfully talked for 16 minutes about absolutely nothing except, the stroll up and down Third Street Promenade in Santa Monica, California. And I don't know the zip of this area. If I knew the zip, I would tell you, because maybe that would help you find me. Here's another observation. Wow, do people look at their phones a lot. Now, I would be guilty of that, except for the fact that I'm talking on it as if I'm talking on a phone call, which is the only way I feel like I could get away with this. I'm not one of those people who could walk around and go, hey, I'm broadcasting, and put a microphone in people's face and be obvious that I'm broadcasting. I should say I'm not one of those people yet. I may become one of those people. Given enough time, I could very easily become one of those people. So now I'm back at Third Street Promenade and Santa Monica Boulevard.
There is a song that was put out also by one of the legendary performers. If I can find that for you.
So, you gotta love that. Here's a song that was put out by one of the legendary performers, if I can find that for you. Now, he's talking as if he's got a crowd, and there's absolutely no one around him. But he's dressed all in a black shirt and a tie, and he's got the hat, and yeah, what's interesting about these performers is some of them are really, really good. And you wonder, is this all they do? And how did they end up on a street? If it is all they do, and they're truly scraping for dollars and like they live off these tips, it's like, well, you've got all this talent. What's the deal? Is it that, they didn't make the voice audition? Or, American Idol, or I don't know, America's Got Talent or whatever. And like that was their thing. It was like, that's it. I'm going to get off these streets of Santa Monica. I'm going to stand in that line. I'm going to get in those judges. And those people are going to love me, and that's it. And their friends and family going, yeah, man, absolutely. It's a sure thing. If they don't see your talent, they don't know what's going on, blah, blah, blah. You're going to totally be it. And then, for whatever reason, they don't fit the criteria of the judges. Has nothing to do with their talent or ability. It just didn't fit whatever it is they were looking. And then they're like, oh, I shouldn't do this. I'm going to go back to the streets of Santa Monica and make my $20 a night. God bless them. That's what I say. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it just brings up that whole how I'm going to get into an actual subject that I have an opinion about just for a moment. Don't worry, I'm not going to stay here. Hold on, just still no messages. Oh, of course there's no message in the chat box because I couldn't connect this with Facebook. So the odds that anyone would listen to this live are basically zero unless you happen to be hanging out on Spreaker or something, or have followed me, and then maybe you get a notification that says, Bob Doyle is broadcasting on Spreaker. And if that's the case, if you are listening, then would you please, for crying out loud, go down to the bottom of the page or wherever that chat thing is and say, I'm listening! And you can say some other nice things too if you want to. But yeah, I think really for the most part, the fact of the matter is no one's listening. And that's where it comes into scheduling and being regular with the schedule and honoring that schedule, showing up at a predictable time. That's how you get listeners. You cannot just push a button and go, oh, okay, here we go. This is the song I've been waiting for all night. Okay, I can't. Okay, so I'm back at the Hard Christians again. And what's interesting about this particular group is it's a wide range of ages. Yeah, and they're all dressed interestingly. And again, please understand. Oh, a pillow store. Oh, it's a Brookstone. See, I was kind of in the market for a pillow that. My neck's been really bothering me, and I know there's a lot. But Brookstone, really, Bob? That's where you're going to go buy a pillow? Yes, I'm interested in a pillow, but I'd like to pay 6 times more than I would anywhere else. Is this a place I'd be? Yes, sir. Step right up. This is a pillow with pseudo feathers in it. Pseudo feathers. Explain what that is. Well, it's like feathers, but they're not at all feathers. And in fact, if you were to look at them, they wouldn't look like feathers. But what we have done is say that they kind of feel like if you had feathers. Well, is that true? Does it feel like feathers? No, not at all, because only feathers can feel like feathers. That's why we call them pseudo feathers, to protect ourselves. Oh, I see. And how much is this pillow? It's $120. Oh, I see. Because I was just at this other place where they sell feather pillows, and they're like, $40. Yeah, because that's real feathers. Yeah, but this is Brookstone, and we charge way more for stuff that isn't what you really want. Oh, okay, got it. Wasn't clear on the business model. So that's the way that rolls. Okay, so you may recognize that woman's voice. She's the one who I said I didn't understand what she was saying, and I'm not sure she's holding a guitar, but her hand is up at the very, 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 very top of the neck, meaning right by the body. And I've never seen her hands move, and she's playing interesting songs. I mean, do people audition for spots here? I mean, is there like a test you have to take? Okay, so now I'm standing in front of something where there are signs that says, please do not pet the dogs. Dog show starts at 8 p.m. What time is it? Okay, so in 8 minutes, there's going to be a dog show of some kind. And I can tell you that I definitely see skateboards. So I'm thinking that there's going to be some dogs on skateboards. I see 1, 2, 3, 4 cages with dogs in them. And there's kids all around because they want to see the doggies. And that's, quite honestly, that's how I feel. I want to see the doggies too. But, and there's a hoop too. There's a hoop that I'm guessing one or more of the dogs will jump through at some point. So we got 8 more minutes till this show. So I don't know. I'm not going to stand here for 8 minutes. I'll tell you what. I'm going to continue to walk on past the Adidas store, which is right across from Old Navy. And the Tesla store is here. Now I was here the last time I walked in here. So you know Tesla, the electric cars, right? Started by the guy who started PayPal and all of that. And this showroom, which I'm just about to walk in front of, has these amazing looking cars in here. And it's so funny because people walk in there like, yes, I'm seriously considering the purchase of one of these vehicles. May I sit in it? Yes. And then they ask a bunch of questions like, so, does it really get this many miles? How long is that? Like they're going to pull out their checkbook at any minute. And we all know that's not the fact. And in fact, I'm guessing out of every 100 people who walk in that store, zero purchase a Tesla. I'm guessing you'd have to get at least 2,000 people or more, maybe 5,000 people, to walk into that store to get one purchase. But baby, when you get it, am I right? Am I right? Okay, I really don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just making stuff up. So now, it's funny. I'm on the Third Street Promenade where there is no traffic, and I still look both ways before I cross the street. Now, is that good home training or what? So now I'm in front of Chipotle where they're selling screaming babies. I think they've got a 2-for-1 sale. Oh, maybe she's not screaming. Maybe she's just really happy. And now I'm in front of Monsoon, which is a place that I've eaten a couple of times. And I think I highly recommend it. And I'm trying to remember what I've eaten there, but I know I've eaten there twice. So. And now a Barnes & Noble. Bookstores. Remember when people would go and there were these like square or rectangular objects created with lots of different, they called them pages, and then they would have words printed on the pages, and you would actually, I know this, but bear with me here, you would actually get this rectangular object thing, which they called a book. You would you'd physically turn the pages, you'd have paper in your fingers, turn the pages to read the words. And you'd have to turn every page if you wanted to finish the book. It's not like, you drag your finger across the iPad. That's how people read now, right? But you actually had to do it with stuff. And it's kind of like an antique shop if you think about it. This store is filled with hundreds, perhaps thousands of these books. I don't think anybody really buys them. I think it's more of a, like a freak show. You go to freak shows, like, whoa, they really did this? People pick them up and they look through them like they're interested. Kind of like a Tesla. Oh yeah, I think I might buy this book. I'm really interested in the subject of Legos. Yeah, so that's how that works. All right. Well, I think I'm at the end now of where it's cool to be in the Third Street Promenade, because now the road that I'm at now is Third Street Promenade, and I can't read it because my eyes. It's Wilshire, just like I was talking about. How about that? Is that weird? That seems like that'd be a good place to end the show, because I was talking about the mystique of Wilshire Boulevard, and here I am. I think it's Wilshire Boulevard. It definitely says Wilshire something. But I want to make sure that it actually, as opposed to Wilshire Avenue or Wilshire Place. No, I think it's actually Wilshire Boulevard. So somewhere on this road is where you used to write to get tickets to The Price is Right, or some other game show I saw as a child, and I'm blending memories around, and I have no idea what I'm talking about. So it's like, in essence, it's a return to childhood, thousands of miles away from the television I watch those shows on. And it's still kind of interesting to me at this point, this early in my California career, to see Wilshire Boulevard, even Santa Monica Boulevard. Those were all things that were said on TV all the time. As a kid, you go, that's where you get tickets to things. I didn't really talk like that. I did have a high voice. It wasn't that high, though. I mean, it was definitely, no question. Before my voice changed, I definitely sounded like a country girl. I'm not denying that on any level. But it wasn't quite that high. I didn't quite get up that high. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is wind this down, because now I've paced up and down this little area several times, and you're going to start hearing the same music over and over, and I'm going to start talking about the same stores over and over, and there's no need to do that. So what I really need to do is remember how to get back to the King's Head Pub, although I still have like an hour before I have to be there. Okay, wait, the dogs are out, or one of the dogs is out. So I know there's no way for me to show you what's going on. You can't. You clearly can't hear what he's saying, but this is like a bulldog. Aww. Aww, I want to pet that dog. I wonder what... No, this is a big old, like, bulldog looking thing, so I can't imagine this thing jumping through a hoop. He's dancing for treats, but Cody, my dog Cody, dances even better than this dog. So maybe that's what I should do. I should come out here with Cody, and we'll do the dance, and we'll do 4 spins around, and make enough tips to send Cody to college. Because that's been his dream. I think all dogs want to go to college, right? I'm thinking. Well, that's what they told us growing up. Anyway, I can't believe everything you hear. But all right, ladies and germs, I can't do. I don't think I can do. Yeah, I can't do the music outro or anything. Obviously, I didn't do a music intro because I think I have to start the broadcast with the phone in one position, and then to be able to access that. Yeah, I know you're all taking notes on this. So wait a minute. What you're saying is you have to hold the phone horizontally rather than vertically if you want to have access to playing intro and outro music on the iPhone Spreaker app. And that's exactly what I'm saying. So if you wrote it down just like that, then you are completely on track, and you are, you're a very good listener. So I'm going to end this now because I think what I'm worried about is that I'm clogging up the internet with so many listeners. So many people are listening live right now. That things like YouTube and CNN and ESPN, they're not getting any. People can't get there. So just to make the internet work again, I'm going to go ahead and just sign off, and just as an act of goodwill. And so please, no complaint cards and letters. I'm doing it for the benefit of all of us. Okay, I'm doing it for the benefit of all of us. And don't worry, guess where I am? Yeah, that's right. So, all right, well, that's it for the Bob Doyle Timeline episode for right now, even though, ironically, it's not appearing on my timeline because I don't know why I'm disconnected from it and can't reconnect. But I will. I will connect it, but then it won't be the same thing. It won't be live. So, man, maybe I should just buy a real radio station. I think that's probably the answer. So I'm going to go do that now, and so the next time I just changed my mind. That would be a really, really bad investment. A radio station, really? That's just not where things are going at all. I don't know what I was thinking. All right, good night, everyone.